Hi gang, Joe Ayers here. We're going to be doing a series of videos responding to questions that I've been asked about my writing. But before we get into that, I'll send you to some resources if you want to go there, and you can check out some of the things about me on my website, which is right here, joeayrescares.com. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there besides things having to do with my writing, so you may not want to look at all of that. If you don't, you go to the menu, and under the menu you'll find a heading called Novels. Now, all of the novels I've written to this point that are published to this point are there. Then there's another section about me, and most of that you probably won't care about, but there's a section on my scholarly writing, my Vita, that lists all the things I did while I was teaching at Washington State University and other universities. Okay, so there you go with that stuff. The questions that we'll be dealing with today are what inspired me to write. We're talking about the creative writing now. We're not talking about the scholarly writing that I did. And when did I start writing? Well, I thought about that inspiration question a fair bit. And the nice answer is when I was an English major way back in the day, all of the people that were English majors wanted to write the great American novel. I was no exception. But my life took a different turn. I wound up being a college prof, doing research on questions about why people had difficulty with communicating with other people. And after I retired, I should say that desire to write that great American novel returned, and that's what inspired me to write novels. Well, that's dishonest, actually. That's not what inspired me to write novels. What inspired me to write novels was simply being bored. I didn't have anything really of creative nature to do. Scholarly writing is fairly creative, you think up study patterns and all of that. So I decided, why not give writing novels a try? Maybe I can actually write one. This is several years ago now that I started doing this, say 10, somewhere in there. And it started out with a novel called Allen's Fund. And Allen's Fund is about the exploitation of children and how to prevent that exploitation. All of the Allen Fund series books have to do with that kind of topic in one way or another. And we follow some characters all the way through all of the books that are called Allen's Funds. Books 1 through 8. Book 9 is about to come out. Book 10, I'm about a fourth of the way through. I did another kind of book too, which I really enjoyed doing, actually. It's what would happen if there was an EMT event, electromagnetic pulse. Wiped out all computers and all electricity and all of that. Pretty well took us back to the Stone Ages. What would people do? I read a lot of those kinds of novels at one time, and they just drove me crazy because they're absolutely unrealistic. The one I wrote is what I think people would really do in a situation like that. They're not going to go out and kill one another wantonly all over the place. They're going to do what people did in the past. They're going to gather their resources together, share things, and, recoup from that particular event. And that's what that particular novel's about. So that pretty well tells you what inspired me to write. It wasn't some grand motive, it was just boredom. And I've been doing it about 10 years. We'll catch you with the next set of questions in the next video.